Hi, I'm Siobhan from Siobhan's Performance Horsemanship, and today I'd like to talk about the performance position. The performance position is the rider's posture that allows them to be balanced in the saddle, to not hinder the horse, and to be able to independently deliver rein, leg, and seat cues. The performance position is sometimes called balance seat, it's sometimes called rider biomechanics. It's quite simply good equitation. By riding in the performance position, our horse is able to perform whatever maneuver we're asking without us getting in their way. To be riding in the performance position, the rider's legs should be underneath them, their lower legs should be steady, they should sit straight in the saddle, and they should be looking up. The horse and the rider should appear relaxed. If either one of them is tense, if the rider is bouncing and flopping around, that's going to have a negative effect on the horse's ability to perform whatever maneuver we're asking them. The performance position will vary depending on the rider's conformation and the maneuver the horse is performing. If you were to take a look at a picture of a Western pleasure rider sitting tall and straight in the saddle, and then compare it to a jumper up in two-point position going over a jump, they're going to look very different. They are both riding in the performance position. Now that we know a little bit more about the performance position, let's go over some of the exercises that I use to teach riders how to develop the performance position. To develop the performance position, I have riders start on a lunge line. By putting the rider on a lunge line, they don't have to worry about controlling the horse. They only have to worry about their position. And to start, I have the horse at a standstill, and I simply ask the rider to stand in their stirrups. And if at the beginning they have to hang on to the horn or hang on to the mane to get their balance, that's just fine. I just want them to develop the muscle memory to be able to stand up in their stirrups. Once it's pretty easy for the rider to stand up in their stirrups with the horse at a standstill, then I move up to the walk. What I want is for the rider to be able to easily stand up and change their seat position from sitting in the saddle to standing up without their lower leg moving. The goal is for them to be able to stand up in the stirrups at any time, at any gait, without hanging on to the mane or the horn. And what this actually does is make their lower leg steady. If their lower leg is in the correct position, with their heel down, their heel underneath their hip, it's going to be easy for them to simply stand up. So by practicing from sitting to standing on the lunge line where the rider doesn't have to worry about the horse, we are building the correct muscles in the rider's leg. So I have them practice at the standstill, at the walk, at the trot, being able to stand up, sit down at any gait without hanging on to the mane. When we get to the trot, I like to have riders post. So I have them counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 with the rhythm of the horse's trot, and then gradually make that where they're standing up on 1, sitting down on 2, so that they're posting in rhythm with the horse. And once they can transition at the trot, I like to have a rider sitting the trot for 5 strides, posting for 5 strides, standing for 5 strides, and vary it. And once the rider can master that at the trot without having to hang on to the mane, without having to hang on to the horn or the saddle at all, they usually have developed a pretty good leg. And their performance position is going to be pretty easy for them to do. They're not going to have to think about it anymore, and they're not going to be hindering the horse, and the horse is going to be a lot happier. So by working on these little exercises, the standing up, sitting down, I know it sounds extraordinarily simple, and really it is, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of practice to develop that muscle memory, and it will pay off when the rider can ride in the performance position without having to think about it. So go ask your instructor to give you a lunge line lesson. If you don't have an instructor, ask your horsey friend or somebody that can control the horse at the lunge line and work on it. Start at the walk, move up to the trot till you can stand up, sit down anytime without having to hang on to the horse's mane and develop a steady lower leg. Good luck and enjoy the ride.